Hi everyone, back again with another video, and this one is for a review of The Monkey. Now I saw this a little while ago. I wasn't sure whether or not to do a review on it because it wasn't a movie that really blew me away or anything. It was still a solid movie, and there's some things I found really funny about it. But not to compare, but I mean I guess I am kind of comparing. But I really loved Osgood Perkins' last film, Longlegs, which I think was great. I really loved the intrigue and the horror type atmosphere the film had. It was just really well done, really well filmed. And I loved certain moments. I don't want to give away too much, but just certain moments of there's a sneaky thing they do throughout the film. I kind of slightly did mention this because this was in my top 10 of last year. But how they sneakily put in these little, you could say, Easter eggs or just hints to what it is throughout the film, and you may miss it on first viewing, but on second viewing you're like, oh shit, did you see that? You know, that kind of thing. I loved how that was done in Longlegs. The Monkey was good. I'm gonna get into it straight away. So this will probably be a pretty short video. There's not a massive list. I still did enjoy the film, but it's just nothing on the same caliber as Longlegs, I felt. But anyway, let's get into the things I liked about it. So, number one is cinematography. There were moments in the film where it still looked quite good visually and quite effective in ways in how it was telling the story. It wasn't anything that was mind-blowing as Longlegs felt at times. It was really well done. Created build-up atmosphere, and it just, really put you in the scene. It wasn't kind of the same with The Monkey. It still was good in parts, but it didn't have that same impact like Longlegs did in regards to how solid the cinematography was. Yeah. Okay, so next thing, number two is the practical effects. There is hints of CGI throughout the film, and they're definitely quite noticeable, especially a few. It did kind of annoy me in parts. I was like, "Ooh, that's definitely CGI." But there was some good practical effects I felt at times too. I'm pretty sure they were practical, unless they were just really good CG in parts. But yeah, some of the blood and the gore stuff. It was well done in a way. So, and it did add to the insane elements to the film. So I did quite enjoy some of the practical effects in the film. Next thing, number three, is the acting. I thought the performances were pretty solid. The main guy did a good job, and considering what he has to do in the film in regards to, I don't want to give away too much, but it was interesting, his role. He did that quite well, and his voice really worked for the narration. I think his voice was really solid, actually, for what the way that the story was told through his voice. I think it worked really well. And I liked as well, actually this leads me to number four, performances enhanced the humor. The way he reacted to the stuff that was happening, the deaths and all that, I was like, this is great. It's just kind of oh shit, oh my god, is that her? It kind of came off a bit stilted, but it makes sense because he's just so jaded to what this monkey can do. And he's just like, oh fuck, here we go again, that kind of thing. And not only that, there was a great scene with the in this church with they were doing a funeral thing and such, and the minister or priest or whatever, he it was great. Just the way he reacted to it was amazing, and he just kind of felt put on the spot with how insane this death was. Yeah, quite interesting. So I quite enjoyed that and thought it was quite funny. So yeah, quite funny. There was parts that it did go into absurdity, but I feel like the humor definitely lightened it up a bit and didn't make it too serious, and it didn't bother me too much then. And that does lead me to number five, the humor. Just the overall humor and how fucking crazy some of these deaths are. It is quite funny, and it kind of made me look forward to the next one, and I felt myself slightly laughing almost at every single one. Very dark comedy, very dark in the humor. And it's cool to see that, because that this director is capable of doing that as well. He's done a few other films prior to Longlegs as well. I think he did Gretel and Hansel, or Hansel and Gretel, this version of that. that was an interesting take on it, very dark, but I liked the way it was shot. And the Blackcoat's Daughter, I don't remember much about that one, but I remember it was quite well shot as well. But yeah, this one felt the most standard in regards to how it was shot. It's kind of going back to cinematography things I was talking about, but yeah, it definitely felt that way. But anyway, moving on to the next thing. So yeah, solid humor. I feel like in a way it did kind of feel like a comedy. Like, you know how a lot of comedy films don't care so much about the filmmaking and they care more about the acting and kind of like the concept. It did kind of feel like that, but I do feel that comedies can still be really well shot and really intentional with the filmmaking elements, such as like Shaun of the Dead or same director, Shaun of the Dead or Hot Fuzz or Game Night. Like, those films still were really creative in some of the technical things. There's definitely some other good examples, but those are definitely ones that come to mind for me in regards to like comedies. Punch Drunk Love, was that classed as a comedy? Like, that was really interesting in how it was shot. But anyway, so I feel like that's not an excuse. I should make a video about that on my channel and be like, look, you can make a great comedy with awesome filmmaking as well. You don't have to sacrifice the filmmaking to make a comedy. I feel like it's just a cop-out. But anyway, that's just me. So that's number 5, humor. Number 6, brutal / shocking moments. Yeah, this is obviously here to come. And that's, yeah, it's quite funny, but still it's like, oh, damn, you know. It does hit me quite hard, especially a few of them. Some of them were kind of like, wait, what? That would happen? Like, there's this pool scene that happens. Like, I don't think that would happen in real life, but it was quite funny. But yeah, so just quite brutal and shocking moments. Numerous ones throughout the film, especially near the very end. They take it quite crazy at the end. It didn't bother me that much, though. There's definitely other movies that do that kind of thing, where they kind of really push it. And I'm like, man, I kind of like that it was more small scale. But in this movie, I think it actually kind of worked. It didn't bother me as much. It kind of added to the humor, really, actually. Just how crazy this shit is. Yeah, so that wasn't a huge bother. So that's number 6. And number 7, concept. Just the overall concept and just how kind of silly it gets with it and how they really play with it. Yeah, it was a fun watch. Like, it was nothing, as I said, too, like, thought-provoking or anything too, like, you're going to really think about it deeply afterwards. You're more going to just be like, you remember that fucking crazy scene? You know, that kind of thing. It would be a fun movie to, like, watch at a party, like, with friends or whatever, and just, you know, in the background, and just, oh, here comes this scene, you know what I mean? I feel like it's one of those kind of movies. But yeah, it was enjoyable. Like, it wasn't, as I said, anything amazing. So yeah, overall, 7 things I liked about this movie, ending with concept. So yeah, an enjoyable film, nothing that, you know, will probably make my top 10 of this year. That would be quite crazy if this made my top 10. Because usually all my top 10s are at least a 10 out of 10. Or 10 over 10 things that I like. So yeah, this probably definitely won't make that. It won't be a good year then if that's the case, I imagine. But yeah, it was a solid film, and I watched it with a friend as well. I think this is a movie that's enjoyable to watch with a friend. That definitely probably likes dark humor if they're not into gory. It's not like crazy gory, because I'm definitely not into crazy gory stuff. Granted, the substance is quite insane, and I really enjoy that. But yeah. Anyway, yeah. So it's not one of those movies that's crazy gory and like quite sickening. It's not. Well, at least for me. I guess someone else could watch it and be really grossed out by it, but that definitely wasn't the case for me or my friend when we saw it. So yeah, quite enjoyable film. Definitely would recommend watching it with friends. Not a one probably so much to watch on your own. Watch with some friends. You know, have a maybe a few beers or something at a party. You know, something fun like that. You know, in the background. Definitely not something that would be like like, oh god, that movie sucked. I don't. Well, actually, this hasn't got the highest rating on Letterboxd. What has it got right now? I think it's under, like... So maybe I'm, like, not in the... Oh, 2.9, yeah. It's kind of a lowish rating. But yeah, I think it's quite good. Like, as I said, it might be a slight bias towards Osgood Perkins, because I have liked his previous films quite a bit, especially Longlegs. But I still think it stands on its own as a solid movie, and if it wasn't under his name... I think I would still enjoy this quite a lot. I think. Yeah. Anyway, that is it for this video. So yeah, just a nice short video. Just because I haven't actually been able to put a video up recently. I've been doing the Substance and A Different Man comparison. I got both on DVD now. I got A Different Man on DVD and The Substance on Blu-ray. So I've watched through them again, wrote some notes, and now I just got to structure it for a video. So that's going to be coming soon. I'm hoping my next Titanic video is out soon as well. My part 2, oh god, I've been struggling with that. It still had slight copyright issues, so I've put part 1 up, but part 2 is still like, they're still kind of going through the whole claiming thing. I wouldn't be fussed by it if it was just like, oh, they took the revenue, fine, whatever, at least the video's up, but they're like blocking it in most territories, part 2. So I've disputed that, so hopefully that will be sorted soon. If not, I'll have to re-edit it, trim stuff out. Yeah, so yeah, it's still a process that, and I don't know about Barbie Part 2. The first video hasn't gotten a lot of views yet, so if you want to see Part 2 of Barbie, put that down in the comments below. Like the video and, share it around, and then I'll consider making a Part 2 for it. Otherwise, I'll probably start another reaction video soon, just while Titanic's doing its thing and Barbie's kind of on the pending side as well, depends on how that one goes. But anyway, that is it for this video. So stay tuned for The Substance and A Different Man kind of video talking about the similarities and differences and kind of the themes out of it, because I really love both of those films from last year. And A Different Man actually did make my top 10 of last year now. It's like number 5 or 6 or something like that in my top 10. So yeah, what was it? A Real Pain is now my number 11, so it's more of an honorable mention now. Still a great film, but I find A Different Man is better now, personally. But yeah, that's it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. If you've watched all the way up to this point, consider hitting the subscribe button and liking the video. I very much appreciate that. And yeah, that's it for this video. Hope to catch you folks in the next one. Bye-bye.